Alex was a man on the run. He wasn't fleeing from the authorities or any legal trouble. Not from the law, but from his past. A past that haunted him every waking moment and even in his dreams. He sought solace in the anonymity of a bustling city, miles away from the whispers of his former life. The crowded streets offered a temporary refuge, a place where he could blend in and disappear. The weight of his memories, however, was a shadow he couldn't outrun. No matter how fast he ran or how far he went, they were always a step behind. He carried the burden of a forgotten tragedy, a chilling secret buried deep within his mind. It was a secret that gnawed at his soul, refusing to be silenced. Years he had spent trying to forget. Each passing day was a struggle to keep the memories at bay, to push them further into the recesses of his mind, trying to build a new life, a new identity. He changed his name, his appearance, and even his mannerisms, hoping to leave the past behind. But the past had a way of catching up. It was relentless, always finding cracks in his new facade to seep through. It lurked in the corners of his mind, waiting for the right moment to resurface. In his dreams, in quiet moments, it would strike without warning. He couldn't escape the guilt, the fear. They were his constant companions, whispering doubts and regrets into his ears. He was a prisoner of his own making. No matter how far he ran, he could never truly escape the chains of his past. The invitation arrived on a bleak, rain-soaked afternoon. The sky was a dull gray, and the sound of raindrops tapping against the window was almost hypnotic. A simple white envelope, his name and address scrawled across in unfamiliar handwriting. It stood out against the mundane bills and advertisements that usually cluttered his mailbox. Inside, a single sheet of paper. School reunion. This Saturday. Come, remember. The words were stark, almost haunting in their simplicity. No salutation, no signature, just a chilling command that sent shivers down his spine. It was as if the paper itself carried a weight of memories long buried. The thought of returning to his old school filled him with dread. Memories of laughter and camaraderie were overshadowed by darker recollections. It was there, within those hallowed halls, that the seeds of his torment were sown. The corridors echoed with whispers of the past, each corner hiding a ghost of a memory. He tossed the invitation aside, his heart pounding. The paper fluttered to the floor, a silent reminder of a past he wished to forget. He couldn't go back. Not to that place, not to those memories. The rain outside seemed to intensify, mirroring the storm of emotions within him. The past was a place best left undisturbed. Yet, something drew him back. A morbid curiosity, perhaps, or a subconscious desire to confront the ghosts of his past. Whatever the reason, he found himself standing before the imposing iron gates of Northwood High. The school was eerily silent, shrouded in an unsettling stillness. As he stepped onto the grounds, memories came flooding back. The laughter echoing through the corridors, the thrill of a stolen glance across the classroom, the camaraderie of his football team. But these fond recollections were tainted, overshadowed by a creeping sense of unease. Section 4. The Gathering Storm. The gymnasium was dimly lit, a solitary disco ball casting fractured beams of light across the dusty floor. Figures stood in shadowy clusters, their faces obscured. They moved with an unsettling slowness, their silence punctuated by the mournful creak of the wooden floorboards. One figure detached itself from the darkness. A childhood friend, Sam. His face stretched into a grotesque grin, but his eyes held a chilling emptiness. "You came!" Sam rasped, his voice a hollow echo. "We've been waiting!" Section 5. Drowned in Memories. A cold hand gripped Alex's shoulder, sending a shiver down his spine. The touch was icy, almost otherworldly, as if it came from a place beyond the living. He turned to see a kaleidoscope of distorted faces, their eyes burning into him with an accusing glare. Each face seemed to morph and twist, reflecting his deepest fears and regrets. Their whispers swirled around him, fragments of memories he desperately tried to repress. The voices were familiar, yet distant, like echoes from a forgotten past. The accident, the lake, the night that changed everything. The water was dark and cold, a silent witness to the tragedy that unfolded. The shadowy figures pressed closer, their forms shifting and morphing, becoming more monstrous, more menacing. They seemed to feed off his fear, growing stronger with each passing second. Their whispers grew louder, coalescing into a single heart-stopping accusation. The word echoed in his mind, relentless and unforgiving. Murderer, he was trapped. The word reverberated through his soul, a constant reminder of his guilt and the life he could never reclaim. Trapped in his own mind, drowning in the suffocating depths of his guilt. The water closed in around him, pulling him deeper into the abyss of his own making. The gymnasium, the figures, they were all figments of his tortured psyche. Each shadow, each whisper, a manifestation of his inner torment. He was alone, consumed by the chilling realization that he was both prisoner and jailer. The walls of his mind closed in, leaving him in a perpetual state of despair and isolation.